Hello. It's so nice to hear the different people that have been coming to practice yoga. I know my mom and my sister are coming today. So, hello. It's good to at least feel a little more connected to you. Um, as this becomes a little more normal, I'm going to start this class like I usually start any class that I teach in a studio. And that's by saying that you don't have to listen to a single thing that I say. Any alignment action or muscular activation that I offer is a mere suggestion, and you know your body best. So if something doesn't feel right, listen to that. And also, invitation to creatively explore what does feel right for your body. So I always say to students in a classroom, you can jump up and down, you can stay in child's pose, you can dance around the room. I don't care. This isn't about me at all. We come to our mats to connect with something deeper in ourselves that can help guide us through whatever's going on in our life. And right now that's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. So please do whatever you need to here. Don't care if housemates are around or partners or family. This is your time and you've decided to use it for you. So sit, lay down, put your legs at the wall, do whatever you need to get comfortable, and allow your eyes to softly close. And what's the first thing you see when your eyes close? Is it worries from your day before you came here? Is it a to-do list that remains for the rest of your day? Or is it a kind vision you had from this morning, perhaps of snow glistening? Or a smile when you read somebody's text? We close our eyes and pay attention to get a little sense or temperature of our internal state. This internal state will certainly shift throughout this practice today. That's the point. Well, can you just notice what's going on inside of you without condemning yourself or judging or praising for that matter? Can you just be with what is? Because that's what this time is asking of us. Take in a deeper breath, lengthening your inhales to about 3 seconds. And take a deeper breath out, lengthening your exhales to about 5 or 6 seconds. And trying to make your exhales twice the length of your inhales. Using this method to begin to calm down our nervous systems. Preparing us to do the work of an inside job. Allowing your eyes to softly flutter open. On an inhale, expand the chest, coming into a seated cow position. Exhaling, belly to spine, curl everything in, seated cow. Taking a few rounds with your own breath. You can keep your eyes shut if that feels better for you here. Starting to bring movement, fluid, breath all along your vertebrae. You can take some circles in your ribs here in one direction. And then the other direction. And then straightening your legs out in front of you. Point and flex your toes, just warming up the back of your legs. Arms rise up overhead. Bringing your right hand to the ground, reach up and over towards your right. Keep pointing and flexing your toes here, flossing that sciatic nerve through the back of your leg. On a breath in, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhaling, left hand down, reaching up and over to the other side. Inhaling, arms come back up to the middle. Make your way into child's pose. Maybe it's time to take off your fuzzy pajama socks. Reaching those arms long in front of you, tense your fingertips on the ground so you're pressing down the ball of each fingertip into the ground. Allowing your breath to fill the back of your chest, your low back. And planting your palms down into the ground. See if you could isometrically drag your fingertips, your palms back towards your body. So you feel the strength in the underside of your arms. Your armpits lift away from the ground. Keeping that strength in your arms, come forward onto all fours here, finding cat-cow in all fours. But today, instead of just dropping into your cat and your cow, can you resist the movement as you're doing it? Feeling like you want to stay in this cow position, but exhaling, finding that cat, engaging the front and back of the body as you move. One more round. And finding a neutral spine somewhere in between that cat and that cow. Inhale, left arm reaches up to the side. Exhale, thread the needle. Reach it through the right arm, right leg. Bring the right fingertips overhead with a bent elbow. As you try to bring the back of your left shoulder towards the ground, bring your hips over towards the left side of your mat. With any twist, we need an anchor from where we twist. Here, it's your left hip rooting to the left. Allowing your breath to fill the sides of your waist. And on an exhale, make your way back to all fours. Take a round of cat-cow just to feel the difference between your two sides. And on a breath in, right arm peels open to the right ball. Exhaling, thread the needle, reaching it towards the opposite side. Your left arm can be straight overhead. I like to bend the elbow so I have a lot more space in this left side of my neck, from where my head can then begin to look up towards the sky, or anywhere that feels good for my neck today. Know that your body is different every day when you come to your mat. So what worked for you yesterday or 5 years ago might not be what you need today. And on your next inhale, come back up to all fours. Tuck your toes under, make your way into downward facing dog. And step your right foot a little forward and step your left hand a little forward. So you're coming into this more asymmetrical downward facing dog. Helps to stretch out the back of that left shoulder a little bit. You can bend your knees so you get a little more length in the back body. Just notice if this feels better for you than a regular down dog. On an exhale, line your hands up, line your feet up, taking a more symmetrical down dog. Little bend in the knees. See if you can feel like you're kicking your heels up to your bum while your sit bones lift up and back. Shake the head out, no. Nod the head, yes. I'm choosing to listen to my body for this next hour. On an exhale, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Bring your fingertips to the inside of your right foot. Option here to drop your left knee to the ground. I'm going to keep mine up today because this left hip has just been feeling like it needs a little more strength instead of flexibility. Toe heel your right foot to the right side of your mat. Option to drop down onto your forearms here, pressing back through that left heel, firing up the back of the left leg even as you stretch or find more length. Breathing into the fire. On an exhale, bring your hands back to the ground. Straightening the front leg, toe heel your foot in a little more towards the center of your mat. Parsvottanasana, folding forward over two straight legs. Option to stay here, or on an inhale, take a little bend in the front leg. Exhale, straighten the front leg. So either breathing static here or making it more dynamic as you bend and stretch that front leg. Lovely. On the next bend of your front leg, step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend in the knees, bring your fingertips to the ground, and let your neck release here. Moving it in a circle, like you're tracing a circle on the ground at the top of your head in one direction, then in the opposite direction. On the breath in, lift up halfway, legs can stay bent. Exhaling, bend the knees, stay parallel towards the ground with the torso. Inhaling, lift your heels up off the ground. And on an exhale, stand up straight, straightening the legs as you come to stand. Heels stay lifted. Inhaling, arms rise up to the sky. Exhale, bring your heels down, hands down to the heart. Inhaling, lift the arms up to the sky, looking up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, fingertips towards the ground. Inhaling, elongate the spine, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back, coming into lizard pose on this side. Left foot, toe heels a little wider than hip distance. Again, option to stay up on your hands or lower down to your forearms. Back knee can stay lifted or come to the ground. Sending your breath, opening in your body. On your next exhale, straightening the front leg. Toe healing that left foot back towards the center of your mat. Two straight legs, Parsvottanasana. If your fingertips don't touch the ground, you can put them on your front shin, finding some balance here. Or if you have two blocks or a bench that you can use that to support your hands here. On an exhale, bend the front leg, step it back, top of a push-up plank position. Take a breath here to lift your palms as much as you can away from the ground and exhale, lower all the way down. Reach the fingertips back towards your feet. Inhale, rise up for an armless cobra. Exhale, come down. One more time, rising up, reaching those fingertips back. Exhale, release. This time, tense your fingertips wider than your mat and pressing down the inner edge of your feet. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose. Exhale, right shoulder comes down, look towards the left. Inhale, rise back on up. Exhaling, left shoulder comes down, look towards the right. Inhale, back on up. Take one more to each side at your own pace. Exhaling, release it down, pressing up through all fours or a plank position. Find downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet out here. Saying hello to your down dog. Maybe it's the first time you're feeling the backs of your legs this week. Maybe you want it to be the last. Just breathe into the reality that your body is showing you. Step the right foot a little forward, step the right hand a little bit forward. Finding an asymmetrical down dog on this side. If that combination doesn't work for you, you could try stepping the left foot forward a little bit. Just find something that feels funky but kind of nice in your body. Coming back to a neutral down dog. On an inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. Inhale, lift it up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee comes towards the left elbow. Hold it there. See if you could bring the inner thigh even closer to the sky. See if you could bring it even closer for one more exhale. Then inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, step the leg through, high lunge, arms and torso rise up overhead. Option to take a little bend in the back knee here, finding a little bounce for yourself. And take your hands and bring them to your waist. I like to make two little hang loose signs with my hands. So my pinky comes to my hip, my thumb comes to my ribs. Press down with your pinky while you try to lift your ribs up and away from your hips with your thumb. This helps to just create more space in the low back. So I'm not just crunching into my low back on my high lunge, but I can find some nice supported length here. Keeping that length, raise the arms up overhead. And on an exhale, hands come into the heart, twist towards your right. You can keep the torso upright here or bring the outer left arm to the outer right thigh. Breathing into the sides of your body. And doing whatever it is you need for you, yourself here on your mat today. Inhale, arms rise back up overhead. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, top of a push-up plank position here. Instead of a chaturanga here today, we'll just take one push-up. So on an exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise back on up. Lifting the inner thighs up and back, down dog. Inhaling, left leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Exhaling, knee to the nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to the right elbow, holding it there. Holding it here for two more breaths. See if you could lift the inner thigh even higher. And on an exhale, extend that leg back. This time, stepping it through, high lunge on the left side. Maybe taking a bend in that back knee and finding a little bounce. Exhaling, bring your hands to your heart, twisting towards the left. Staying risen with the torso here, or outer arm comes to outer thigh. And connecting with your breath and your twist here wherever you are. And seeing if it could help you grow longer. Inhaling, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back, top of a push-up plank position. Taking a breath in here. Exhale, lower down for a push-up. Inhale, press back up. This time, exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, release. Pressing back through all fours, coming into a wide-legged child's pose. And breathe here. As you start stirring things up in your body, notice what comes up. Instead of shying away from it, scrolling away from it, can you sit with it? And can you breathe with it? Inhale, come up through all fours. Tucking the toes under, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here in down dog. Establishing your presence through your hands and your feet. Press, root them down so it feels like you're extending your mat in 2 directions at once. Inhaling, right leg lifts up, 3-legged dog. Opening the hip, bend the knee, stacking right hip on top of the left. Rolling out the right ankle here in one direction. Maybe the other direction. And on an exhale, step that right leg through, coming up warrior 1. So in warrior 1, our left foot is at about a 45-degree angle towards the front of our mat. And our hips face a little bit towards our left. I said in an earlier video, I like to call it warrior 1.5. Bring your hands onto your diaphragm or your ribs here and turn just the ribs towards that front leg. Feeling that nice extension in the middle of your body, arms just float up. On your inhales, grow a little higher. And on your exhales, root down a little more through your feet. Press them into the ground. On your next exhale, open up warrior 2. Arms come to a T. Toe heel to right foot so your heel intersects the middle of your back arch. Looking out over those right fingertips. Can you send your breath out through those fingers? Feel yourself not just in your body, but also in the space all around you. On an inhale, turn the right palm up to the ceiling. Reach up and back, reverse the warrior. I know you're probably feeling a nice strong burn in that front leg. Oh yeah. And can you just breathe into it? What I mean by breathe into it is accept it, meet it. Invite it into your present moment for one more breath. Exhaling, warrior 2. Straighten both legs. Turn all 10 toes towards the front and fold forwards between your legs. On an inhale, bend a little more into your left leg. Walk your hands towards the left. On your next inhale, walk your hands towards the right, bending more into the right leg. Take a few breaths side to side, moving with your breath and your movement. This time, come to the right side. Turn the left toes up towards the sky. Reach the arms out in front of you. Rolling out the wrists here. See if you can engage your inner thighs together a little bit so you actually lift up a little more off the ground. Finding strength in your adductors or your inner thighs where your flexibility lies. Using this stability, come over to the left side. Right toes come up towards the sky. Again, feel that nice engagement together of your inner thighs. Exhaling, come into warrior two on the left-hand side. Left foot faces towards the left of your mat. Heels intersecting the middle of the back arch. And turning left palm up to the sky. On an exhale, reverse the warrior. Left fingertips reach up to the sky or the wall behind you. On an inhale, come back up, warrior two. Turning into warrior one. So the right heel and foot will come a little wider. So it's almost like you're just stepping in between these two legs. Arms rise up overhead. Isometrically engage your inner thighs together here. Feeling the right pinky toe press and root down into the ground behind you. Exhaling, fingertips come to the ground. Step back, top of a push-up plank position. Take a breath here to resist the ground away from you. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, roll onto the top of your feet, straightening your arms, up dog. Exhale, back down dog. 5 breaths here. Or option to take a little bend in your knees and try to jump the hips up over the shoulders for a jumping dog. Inhaling, coming up on the balls of your feet. Exhale, jumper step to the back of your mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Rise to stand, arms circle up. Exhaling your hands down through your heart. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bending the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Feel like you're sitting back into a chair. Behind you, hands come into your heart. Root your sit bones down towards the ground while you lift your ribs up and away from your hips. I like to think that I'm just shimmying my ribs up and away from my hips. They sit lower as my hips and my heart, or rather my ribs and my heart, rise higher. Exhale, release forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, top of a push-up plank position. Taking a Chaturanga Dandasana or coming back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths in down dog. Option to come down into child's pose 2. Inhaling from down dog, left leg lifts up and back. Bending the knees, stack the hips, left hip on top of the right. Press down equally through both hands. So your left shoulder is not popping up and right shoulder popping down, but can you keep them square towards your mat? Rolling out the left foot in one direction, and then the other direction. Exhaling, left leg steps through, Rising up, warrior two this time. Stacking that left knee over that left ankle, bringing left forearm to the thigh, side angle pose. Option here to reach down through your legs, coming into a bind, reaching behind the back for that left hand. If that's too much, you can just open up the right arm behind you while using this left arm to try to press this left leg a little more towards the left side of the mat. You might think I'm crazy, but the strength of this pose is dictated by how much the outer edge of your right foot is able to press in the ground. So press there. Feel your right inner thigh lifting up and away from the mat. Exhale, right hand to the ground, turn the right heel to the sky, twisting open towards the left. Option to stay here or drop that right knee down, reaching back for that right foot for a thigh stretch. Exhaling, release the back foot, tucking the toes under, pressing back, top of a push-up plank position. Coming on to the left side for Vashisthasana, side plank. Side plank is too much for you. You can bring that left shin towards the ground and lift that right leg up, taking it more as a hip strengthener up top. Or you can bring that right foot down in front of you, using it to help you press on up. And feel like you're magnetized up to the sky for 2 more breaths here. Breathing in. And on an exhale, lower down, forearm plank. This time, trying to press your feet and your elbows away from each other, like you're growing your mat even longer. And staying with it, staying with the breath for 1 more breath here. Exhale, release the hips down, coming into Sphinx pose. This time, elbows try to pull back towards the hips. See if you could press your pubic bone down here, so your stomach lifts a little bit up and away from the ground. Bend your right knee, look back towards your right foot. Bend your left knee, look back towards your left foot. 1 more time each way. Inhaling back to Sphinx pose in the center. Exhale, release. Pressing back through all 4s or a push-up, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg lifts up and back. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Step through warrior two. Opening the arms up to that T. Right knee is over the right ankle here. Right forearm comes to the right thigh. Or you can find a little bind behind your back. Opening up for side angle pose here. Again, if that bind is too much, you can work towards it by pressing this right arm into the right leg and opening the left chest towards the sky. Exhaling, frame the front foot. Left hand comes towards the middle, right arm peels open towards the sky. And staying in this nice twist or lowering the left leg to the ground, reaching back for a thigh stretch. Wherever you go, be fully there. Bring your breath to the spaces opening in your body. Allow the crown of your head to reach away from that left knee, growing even longer. Exhale, release the back leg. Actually break your toes. Make sure your pinky toes are included in this, and just come to sit back on your heels. Bring your arms like 2 serving platters. I will face forward. And on an inhale, spread the arms out to the side as the elbows stay in. Exhale, arms come back together. Closing your eyes, inhale, spread them apart. Exhale, bring them back together. Inhale, spread them apart. Exhale, bring them back together. Bring the pinky side of your arms to touch. Bring your fingers towards your nose. Inhaling, lift your elbows up, lift your arms up. Keep them sealed together as high as you can here. And on an exhale, make a diamond shape with your arms. You can look at the camera here. And slowly pull your elbows back in towards your sides. Inhale, reach the arms long. Exhale, untuck the toes, hands come to the ground. Pitter patter those feet out if that felt uncomfortable for your toes is all. So good for your plantar fascia. And then tucking those toes under, lift the inner thighs up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Option to take child's pose on this Friday if you like as well. On an exhale, jump or step the feet to your front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms reach on up. Exhale, hands down through your heart. And turn around and face towards the camera if you're facing the opposite way on your mat. And inhaling, lift the right leg up towards hip height. On an exhale, reach that leg back behind you, making an L shape for warrior 3. Inhale, knee comes back up to chest. Exhale, reach that leg back behind you, tipping the torso parallel towards the ground. Inhale, rise back on up. One more time, reach that leg back. This time, stay there. Maybe you bring your hands to your hips. See if you could roll your right hip down so it faces the ground. And slowly lower your fingertips towards the ground, bending that left knee, lifting the right leg up and back, standing split. Left knee can be bent or straight here. I like to keep my hips facing towards the ground. It doesn't look as nice, my leg doesn't go as high, but I feel it more in a sticky part of my back leg. And that's what I care about. And here's the beautifully challenging part. Inhale, rise back up. Like it's no big deal. Just bring that knee up to the nose. Woo. Exhale, drop it down. Roll the shoulders back and down. Closing the eyes here. And feeling your breath settle back within your tummy. And coming on to the opposite side. Eyes open. Inhaling, left knee comes up towards the chest. Exhale, reach it back, but feel like the left knee is still kicking your nose. Inhale, stand back up, bring the knee up. This time as you reach back, seriously feel like this knee just wants to touch your toes, but you're still reaching it back, or rather your nose, sorry. Inhale back up one more time, resisting the movement as you go. Exhale, reach that leg back behind you, so much so that your fingertips slowly make their way to the ground, bending the right knee as you need to. So the name of the game here is resistance. You're resisting every movement that you go into because that's where you can find your strength here. And feel like your left heel is kicking up towards the sky. Keep that feeling like your left heel is kicking the sky. As you come to stand, left knee comes to the nose, but the heel is still kicking the sky behind you. Exhale, release that foot down. Coming into Garudasana, eagle, standing on the left leg. I'll face the camera here. Right leg comes over the left, bring the the finger toes, the toenails towards the ground. Left arm comes on top of right arm. Option to bring fingertips to the shoulders if this is too much for you here. Feel your breath sealing up through the center of your body, coming up through your foot, leaving out the crown of your head. On an exhale, fold your torso forwards, bringing your elbows to your knees. Next, untuck your legs and kick your right heel towards your butt. You can stay here or try to extend that leg behind you, coming into warrior three with eagle arms here. Reaching those elbows down to the ground as the right heel reaches behind you. One more breath here. Exhale, coming up to stand. Release the arms, roll the shoulders back. And coming onto the opposite side. Left leg crosses over the right. Right arm crosses on top of the left arm. I'll stay facing sideways on this side. Feel like your arms and your legs are hugging into a center line here. See if that squeezing or engaging in towards each other can make you rise up a little higher. Can you sit your bum down as you lengthen the crown of your head to the sky? And keep this feeling of lengthening as you exhale and fold down, bringing your elbows towards your knees. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Feel like the left knee just wants to kick the chest as you reach it back behind you. Resisting the movement as you move, holding warrior three. Left heel wants to kick that wall back behind you, so strong. Inhale, rise back on up. Rolling the arms back behind you. Lovely. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Take your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Squatting down, Malasana. Hands come to touch in prayer pose in front of your heart. I'll face the front once again here. Close your eyes here. If it's difficult for you to be in this pose, come up a little bit higher and try to kick your heels in towards the center of your body. Use your strength to support the new range of motion you're finding in your hips. Option to bring the right hand to the ground, reaching the left arm up to the sky, twisting to the left. You can also take a bind behind your back here if that's in your practice and you want to continue your binds for the day. Exhale, releasing the hands. Straighten the legs, turn all 10 toes forwards and parallel, and place your hands underneath your feet, Padmottanasana. You can bend your knees to get your hands under your feet. But isometrically kick your heels up towards your bum so it feels like you're trying to lift the heels up away from the ground. In doing so, see if you could try to bring your legs towards straight, but using the muscles in the back of your leg to support the strengthening, not just hyperextending the knee and hoping for the best. Releasing the hands, turn the toes out once again, squatting down, Malasana. Hands come in towards the heart. If you're having difficulty in this pose, another option is to take a blanket and bring it down underneath your heels if they seem to be lifted off the ground. It can just help support you here as you bring your left hand down. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Option to clasp the hands behind the back, binding on this side if you did so on the other side. And if your shoulder range of motion allows it safely. Exhale, release the right hand down and come to sit back on your mat. Rolling all the way back down onto your back. And place your hands behind your head. Actually, one hand behind your head, one hand on your belly. Take a breath in here. Exhale, lift up halfway. Feel if your belly pooched out into you or if you could engage your transversus abdominis, drawing those two hip points together so nothing pops out into your hand. Take a breath, lift up a little higher. Exhale, lower down halfway. Take a breath in here. Exhale, lift up. Breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. And take a breath in. Exhale, lift up halfway. Belly to spine. Inhale, lift up a little higher. Exhale, lower down all the way. Breath in. Exhale, lift up halfway. Inhale here. Exhale, lift up a little higher. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down all the way. So using different breath patterns with our abdominal movements here, see if we could find that transversus abdominis activation no matter what our breath is doing here. So releasing the arms to the sides. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, bridge pose. Drag the heels back towards your bum. And see if you could reach your knees away from you while you kick your heels back towards you. Rise up perhaps a little higher. Exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Once you implant your sacrum, that lowest part of your spine on the ground, find just a little tiny arch in your low back here. Keeping that little tiny arch, grab behind your left leg. Straighten the left leg up towards the sky and kick that left leg into your hands here. So it's not a pretty stretch, but it's more of an active low back lengthening here. See if you can keep your ribs down, but a space at your low back. Kick your leg into your hands. Keep kicking that leg, kicking that leg, kicking that leg so much it breaks through your hands and reaches towards the ground. Bend the knee, bring your legs back towards bridge pose. Inhale, rise up, bridge pose. Transfer the weight onto that left leg. Lift the right knee up into the air here. And you can straighten that right leg towards the sky to make it a bit easier, or keep those knees at around the same height if you want to make it a little harder. And see if you could keep your right hip level with your left hip for one more breath in here. Exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time, leaving a space at your low back so I could shine a little flashlight under there. Grab behind the right leg. Isometrically kick the right leg into your hand so you feel that activation in your low back. Straighten the right leg towards the sky. This is active here. So every part of my right leg is kicking into my hands. Keep kicking that leg so hard it eventually breaks through your hands and releases towards the ground. Bending both knees, rise up, bridge pose. Press the back of your arms into the ground. Transfer the weight onto that right leg, lifting the left knee up. Again, kicking the foot to the sky is easier. Keeping those knees in line is a bit harder because it's more of a lever arm on that left hip. And checking in with the height of your hip. Lift the left one up if it's falling down. One more breath in here, lift up. Exhale, lower down all the way. And place your feet wide, bring your knees together, closing your eyes. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. and resting in silence with your body. Releasing your hands. Bring your legs back towards that bridge pose position. Let knees come up over your hips. Scoot your hips to the left. Drop your legs down to the right, rolling over on your right hand side. So you're in this 90-90-90 position. Left hand stacked on top of right. Take a breath in. On an exhale, trace the ground with your left hand, drawing a semicircle over your head, opening up until your arms come to a T. And then on your next breath, trace that same semicircle back, closing down your book here. Take a few rounds back and forth, trying to follow your fingertips with your eyes with you as you move, opening to a T, and then closing the T. One more time, back and forth. Slowing down and taking a few breaths anywhere where it feels a bit sticky. Lovely. And this time, move all the way to your open T position. Eyes turn towards the left hand and rest here. Finding gratitude for the shape of your body. Finding gratitude for the fact that you have a body to move. Finding gratitude for the fact that you can breathe fully. Finding gratitude for the beauty of your shape, whatever it is. On your next inhale, trace those fingers back overhead, closing down your teeth, rolling onto your back, and bringing the knees above the hips. This time, scoot your hips to the right, drop your knees down to the left. Right arm comes on top of the left arm. Inhaling, trace that semicircle above your head. Exhale, rest in that T. Inhaling, trace the arm above the head, closing down your T. Exhale, resting. Taking two more with the pace of your own breath here. Maybe pausing and taking a few more breaths in the sticky spaces. Using the eyes to follow the finger. Whenever you're ready, resting into that open T position. Head turns towards the right fingertips, if that's okay for you now. Relaxing the right shoulder towards the ground. And on your next breath in, trace the right fingertips back overhead, closing down your teeth. Coming to lay on your back here. Bringing your legs into a butterfly position so the bottom of the feet come to touch. Knees open to the side. If this is uncomfortable for you here, you can grab 2 pillows and place them underneath your upper thighs. In a studio, we might have blocks or bolsters for this. And again, place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, allowing your eyes to close. In this crazy time, a lot of us are sharing the same space. And some of us are feeling isolated, others of us crowded. Whenever we come to our mat, we can find that infinite space that exists inside of our body. And we can feel the highways of vessels, of blood, of lymph, of nerves that run for miles and miles throughout our bodies. We realize there's enough space in us for everything, to hold it all. The good, the bad, the crowded, the isolated. We learn to just show up ready. Option to stay in this restorative posture or to lengthen your legs out on your mat, bringing your arms down to your sides, palms up for your final resting pose, Shavasana. Allowing the earth to accept your body. Feeling the forces that support you. And in this place, resting in gratitude. Gratitude for all the amazing processes inside of us that keep us together. Rumi once said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, and so I'm changing myself." Laying in Shavasana, allow the changes to take place within yourself. May the alchemy of simple breath with movement stay with you for the rest of your day. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in you. Namaste.